Are condos going to see a boom in price? Stay tuned. I'm going to break that down. Promise you, it'll be worth it. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. So glad you could join me here today. Every week on Prime Properties TV, we take a closer look at the Toronto real estate topics and updates that matter the most to you. And on this episode, I asked myself the question, are we going to see a condo boom in the next few months? Spoiler alert, yeah. I think so. So let me explain to you in this video. Now, if you like content like this, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the Prime Properties channel. The button to subscribe will be right here. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks. Make sure to hit the little bell too, because I got a lot of stuff coming out in the future. Now, I'm gonna break this video into 3 trends, reasons, data, whatever it is you wanna call it, but why I think we're gonna experience a condo boom in price in the next few months. Now, before I dive deep into the subject, I'm gonna make a very bold proclamation right now. If you've been on the fence about buying condos right now, you probably have until the end of June before we see a fairly sizable price jump. End of June. Now, I'm telling you in case you don't make it to the end of this video, so take that with a grain of salt. Reason number 1, it's what I talk about all the time. Inventory issues. I talked about in last month's podcast, click the eye if you want to watch the entire thing, but the condo market has less inventory than all of GTA on average. The only segment of the market that actually has less inventory than the condo space in the 4 and 6 condo space specifically right now is 905 detaches, and it's not by much. It's very small of a difference. No inventory, buyer demand increasing means price is increasing. While we're not going to see like an absurd amount of offers on every listing, there were 2 condos in the past weeks that actually got 50 plus offers. Getting there, yeah? Now, I don't think the buyer psychology for condo buyers right now is like, oh, let me buy something before prices go up and then, they're out of reach. It's a little bit less FOMO than kind of what the freeholds are, but I think that'll change very soon. Reason number 2, the condo market is actually undervalued right now relative to the freehold market. In another video, I talked about the gap of how big a 905 detached home is to a 4 and 6 condo, in the burbs. You can click the little eye up here and watch that. That gap is now officially the largest it's ever been, meaning the detaches are going to either have to come down in price or the condos going to have to go up in price. And I think it's going to be the latter. So condos up the price. Now, if you have a look at the chart over here, the orange line represents the 905 detached market average price since January 2017. Blue is condo, and gray is the multiplier. And using the column on the right side, you'll see what the multiplier is. Now, the normal multiplier is around 1.5 between these 2 asset types. I like using these 2 because the 905 detached market plays a big role in the 416 condo market because most people who make money in the 905 in the burbs on their primary homes, they refinance and put into a condo. And I've talked about this before in another video about interest rates. You can click that up here. So let me explain this graph to you a little bit more. Before the foreign buyer tax, you see in the 2017 column, there's a huge run up in the 905 detached pricing, making the multiplier higher than 2x, meaning a condo is half the price of a 905 detached. Then came the huge price drop in the foreign buyer and condos started increasing like crazy and the buyer psychology flipped for condos. Condos experienced a huge run up since the mid 2017s up until the pandemic. That's why you see the gray line go down as the multiplier got smaller and smaller. And then ever since the COVID, you can ignore those little blips because that's COVID, right? But you can see that the orange line shoots up, the gray line shoots up, and the blue line shoots down, making the multiplier the biggest ever. So right now, the 905 detached is more than 2x the 416 condo. Again, it should be around 1.5. So let's just say the 905 detached prices stay the same for the next 6 months. For the condos to make up that difference in the multiplier, the average 4 and 6 price has to be at $866,000. It's at $680 right now. Are we going to see an increase of $200,000 in the next 6 months? I don't think so, honestly, but I wouldn't be surprised. But if I were going to see that it will probably try to come close, probably, yeah. And don't forget, just last month in February, we saw the condo prices go up 8% month to month. That's a higher percentage than most of the average GTA, right? Reason number 3, optimism for the pandemic. Now, I'm not going to touch on the topics of vaccines, it's kind of touchy, but here's a snippet that my client Farzana sent to me, shout out to Farzana, saying that UT is optimistic about in-person courses in September. What do you think that's going to do to the rental market? It's going to give it life. Then we talk about the increase in foreign student enrollment. What do you think that's going to do to the demand for condos and rental, especially people coming with money? Because international students have to pay a lot more for enrollment and tuition, right? Lots of money coming in. I'm also talking to a lot of higher ups at other companies that are saying that they're trying to phase in offices back in. I've talked about this before. While not every company out there is going to have 100% of their workforce go back in the near future, a lot of them want them to go back because of productivity reasons. Then you have the tenants of these massive offices in downtown who during the pandemic were trying to sublease their space to other people. All of a sudden, stopped. The reason they're stopping is because they want to keep these office spaces. They're no longer subleasing them. All of this, it's not a coincidence. A lot of these things are signaling a ramp up to activity and demand in the downtown core in the near future. That's all going to add to the buyer demand of this kind of segment in the 4 and 6 condo with less supply right now. So you think about all the 3 reasons, factors, whatever it is you want to call it that I just gave you, it's going to give the condo space in downtown a lot of life or a lot of boom in terms of pricing. How much? That's to be determined. But this is what I would tell you. I wouldn't dilly-dally too much longer. If you're about to start looking for a condo, whether to live or to invest, make sure you book a strategy call with me using the link right here. It'll be www.chatwithzen.com to see what the best strategy out there is right now and where to buy. Because there are pockets in the 4 and 6 that I personally think are severely undervalued for what kind of like geographic perks that it provides. And I don't think it's going to be long, right? Because if we're going to see a big boom in pricing, you got to watch out for that. So make sure you act now and act fast. Until next time, your move, your future. See ya. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one? Oh, you know what? This one's good too. Ooh, this one's really good. You know what? Just watch them both.